I never imagined my first job would plunge me into a nightmare. Fresh out of college, I took a position as a night shift admissions clerk at a newly opened hospital in our small town. The building gleamed with modern promise, clean lines, glass windows, a beacon of hope. Or so I thought. Hospitals, they say, are places of healing, where lives are saved and babies are born. But after my first night, I learned they can also be gateways to something far darker, something that lingers in the shadows of unfinished floors and sealed elevators. This is my story, pieced together from the terror I witnessed, and it still haunts me. The hospital was a modest square structure, its glass facade reflecting the dim streetlights of our small town. It had opened just a month ago, and while the ground floor buzzed with activity, the upper floors, up to the third, remained under construction, abandoned for reasons no one discussed. Funds, I assumed, or perhaps something else. The layout was simple: an admissions desk at the center, patient wards on either side secured by high-tech keycard locks, and an elevator on the far right, though it was supposedly out of service. My shift began at 8 p.m., and by 11 p.m., exhaustion had already set in. The parade of anxious patients, their faces etched with fear of unknown diagnoses, drained me. My supervisor, Mr. Rahim, a veteran clerk with a calm demeanor, seemed unfazed. "You'll get used to it," he said with a faint smile when I complained about the workload. I envied his composure. As the night wore on, the hospital grew quiet. A pair of nurses passed by, whispering nervously. I caught fragments of their conversation. Disappeared. Hoped they find her. And their anxious glances piqued my curiosity. I turned to Mr. Rahim, who was watching them with a troubled expression. "What's wrong with them?" I asked. He hesitated, then sighed. "You're part of the staff now, so you should know. 2 days ago, a patient, Miss Lubna, vanished from the wards. She's 48, diagnosed with ataxia, and nearly blind. Her condition was worsening, so there's no way she left on her own. The hospital only has 2 exits, and security cameras showed nothing. The windows are sealed shut." I frowned. "What about the police?" "The owners don't want bad press," he said, his voice low. "They're handling it internally. But that's not all. The clerk you replaced, Mr. Kamran, disappeared the same day, last seen entering the ward. No trace of him since." I laughed nervously, expecting a punchline, but Mr. Rahim's face remained grim. "Don't dwell on it," he said. "Just focus on work." Easier said than done. The story gnawed at me as I shuffled papers, the hospital's silence amplifying my unease. By midnight, the night shift staff, 2 doctors, 3 nurses, Mr. Rahim and I, lingered in the lobby, idling in the dim glow of fluorescent lights. Then a sharp ding shattered the quiet. The elevator panel lit up. It was descending from the 3rd floor. "I thought the upper floors were empty," I said, my voice trembling. "They are," Mr. Rahim replied, stepping forward to block my view. Another ding. The doors slid open. A nurse screamed, and Mr. Rahim whispered, "Dear Lord." I stood, my legs unsteady, and peered past him. My stomach churned. In the elevator's center lay a mutilated corpse, arms and legs torn off and grotesquely swapped, legs protruding from shoulder sockets, arms from hips. The head, severed cleanly, was embedded in the chest. Blood coated the elevator walls, and scrawled in crimson on the back wall were the words, "Not the one." Shock rooted us in place. Dr. Hassan, a seasoned physician, snapped out of it first. "Help me move the body," he called, but no one moved. He gestured to me, and I stumbled forward, bile rising in my throat. We together dragged the corpse out. The moment we cleared the doors, they slammed shut and the elevator powered off. "Who is that?" Dr. Faizan, the younger doctor, shouted. Mr. Rahim knelt beside the body, his hands shaking. "It's Kamran. The clothes. He was wearing these when he disappeared." The reality hit like a sledgehammer. The previous clerk, mutilated, delivered by an elevator that shouldn't have been running. And those words, "Not the one," what did they mean? "We need to call the police," I said. "There's a killer in the building." "No way," Dr. Faizan snapped. "The owner said no outside involvement. I'm not losing my job over this." "Are you insane?" I retorted. "This is a murder." "Enough," Dr. Hassan interrupted. "We'll store the body in the emergency room and clean this up. The patients can't see this. We'll lock down the hospital for the night." Mr. Rahim agreed, his eyes wide with fear. We pulled down the shutters, turned off the exterior lights, and sealed the entrances. My hands shook as I secured the locks, Mr. Rahim muttering beside me, "First 2 people vanish, now 1 turns up dead. What's happening?" By 1 a.m., we gathered in the lobby, the air thick with tension. "What now?" I asked. "We can't just wait out a killer." Dr. Hassan sighed. "Calling the police risks us becoming suspects if the killer escapes. And Miss Lubna is still missing. We need to protect the patients." Before I could argue, the lights flickered and died. The backup generator didn't kick in. Only faint street light filtered through the windows. Then another ding. The elevator panel glowed, ascending to the 3rd floor. "Hide," Dr. Hassan hissed. "It's either Miss Lubna or the killer." The nurses and doctors scattered to the doctors' rooms. Mr. Rahim and I dove under the admissions desk, my heart pounding. I tried to steady my breathing, dreading what might emerge from the elevator. After an agonizing 10 seconds, the doors opened with a ding. Footsteps echoed. Slow, deliberate. Whoever it was stepped out, and the doors closed. The footsteps approached the dusk. I clamped my mouth, stifling a gasp. A shadow loomed above us. Then a voice, a woman's, soft and chilling. "Dear, is anyone here?" Mr. Rahim mouthed, "Miss Lubna." I moved to stand, but he gripped my arm, shaking his head. Before I could protest, his eyes widened, staring behind me. I turned slowly, my blood freezing. In the dim streetlight, I saw her, Miss Lubna. Her neck impossibly stretched, extended 10 meters, her head hovering inches from us. Her body remained at the desk, fingers tapping lightly on the wood. Her eyes were milky white, her grin wide and unnatural. "Where are you?" she cooed, her voice mocking. Her head scanned us, lingering on me. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then her neck retracted, her head snapping back to her body. Footsteps receded. "Where are you, dear? Is no one going to welcome me?" A door creaked open. Dr. Faizan's voice rang out. "It's Miss Lubna. She looks fine. Let's check her for injuries." "Stop," Dr. Hassan shouted. But it was too late. "Dear, you don't look right. Let me fix you up." A sickening crunch followed. I peeked over the desk and saw her leap onto Dr. Faizan, pinning him down. "Get off me," he screamed. Then a wet rip. She tore his right arm off, blood spraying the floor. Dr. Faizan's screams echoed as she laughed. "Yes, let the hot nectar spill forth and bathe me in red. Let me drink the wine of thy sacrifice." I froze, my mind reeling. Mr. Rahim was equally paralyzed, his eyes locked on the scene. Miss Lubna plunged her hand into Dr. Faizan's chest. He went limp,
blood pooling around him. "Oh dear, you stopped moving," she said, standing. "You were not the one." Her gaze swept the room. "But I heard another nearby. My playthings won't leave just yet." She raised her hands, chanting in a guttural, unknown tongue. A searing pain shot through my left wrist. I clutched it, gasping, and as did Mr. Rahim. When the pain subsided, a red mark, a division symbol, burned into our skin. Miss Lubna dragged Dr. Faizan's body and severed arm to the elevator. "You'll do for now," she said, her blood-smeared grin being the last thing I saw before the doors closed. The elevator ascended to the 3rd floor and powered off. The hospital lights flickered back on.
"What was that thing?" I stammered, my voice barely a whisper. Dr. Hassan emerged, pale. That wasn't human. It was a demon. A nurse bolted for the entrance, sobbing, "I don't want to die!" She grabbed the door and screamed, collapsing. Her left arm was covered in burn marks, the same red symbol etched into her skin. We carried her to a couch, her whimpers filling the silence. Patients emerged from the wards, some clutching their wrists, marked like us. Blood stained the lobby floor. "Is that blood?" one asked, trembling. "We have a situation," Dr. Hassan said, his voice strained. I stared at the elevator, its panel dark, as if nothing had happened. But something had. A creature, not Ms. Lubna, prowled the 3rd floor. The mark on my wrist burned faintly, a reminder we were trapped, marked as prey. The hospital, once a symbol of healing, was now a prison, its upper floors hiding a terror that hunted us. And somewhere, in the darkness above, it waited, searching for the one.